Today I'd like to talk to you about different things that have to do with the wisdom of Kabbalah. Today people are talking about it everywhere, in Israel, around the world, and there are many questions that come up. That's the problem, that there are a lot of things that have to do as if with the Kabbalah. Okay, so this is what I'd like to bring up. First of all, the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, Hebrew ABCs. It says that there is a special, each letter has a special force, therefore it says that this is the reason for which the Kabbalah sages write charms and amulets, and there's a remedy for this and a remedy for that. And I saw today that there is really an entire industry, verified industry, for this, for that, and all of these charms, the common denominator for all of them, from what I understand, that there are letters of the Hebrew ABCs, alphabet, written down there in a certain form, in a certain order. There's a whole methodology to it. I don't exactly know what, but I wanted to ask, what is the special force existing in the Hebrew alphabet? And what do we need to know in order to connect these four letters correctly, so if I give someone a charm, that it will work? You touched a very big, important, broad, and pretty blurry place in the wisdom of Kabbalah. And maybe I should have thought about it in advance, how to arrange it correctly in order to explain, but we'll try together to scrutinize this. It's a very complicated topic. So first of all, it stems from, in the spiritual world, there are no lines, there are no forms, there are no bodies, there's nothing. What do you mean in the spiritual world? In the spiritual world, meaning in the world of two forces. The force of reception and the force of bestowal. That's all there is. Space doesn't exist either. In the spiritual world, it doesn't demand volume like our world. There's like the universe. There's the place of the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Not exactly. The question is, before the Big Bang, the forces had to arrange the place into which later on there will be a break into, and the beginning of creation, where the different forces are starting to be born, and the planets and the galaxies and so on and so forth. First of all, there had to have been a place. So the corporeal place demands a place. So the corporeal world demands a place. We don't know what that is. We live in it. We're also organized according to the axis: up, down, right, left, back, front. Well, we can't. Without these three axes, people that leave Earth into space, where the axes aren't arranged according to gravity, they get very confused. You have to bring them back to our perception. Meaning, our problem is that we are in a very clear world. In a world in which everything is arranged in a good, nice way. This earth, we thought that it's flat, then we found out that it's round, but we live, everything is in place. We can say how much time and place everything takes. In the spiritual world, no. The spiritual world is a world of forces, qualities. Quality of reception and the quality of bestowal. That's it. There are two forces operating. I don't understand where. In the spiritual world. Can you say that again? The spiritual world, it's a world in which there are only two forces operating: reception and bestowal. But where is it? No such thing. Where is it? Where? It means that I have to point at the place, but it doesn't exist. So how is it connected to our life? It's connected to us because it controls us. It's on a higher level. that Einstein and suppose other physicists wanted to penetrate into, but they couldn't. Only the authors of Kabbalah. So from that world, what operates on us is the force of governance, and we work under that spiritual world, upper world. In the spiritual world, we have two forces, and only. The force of reception and the force of bestowal, and the connection between them. In our world, what does it mean, the force of reception, the force of bestowal? A force of reception that one wants to pull to himself, and the force of bestowal that he wants to bestow outside himself. In and out? Yes, in and out. Very simple. In the meantime, for the time being, as if. Now, in our world, these two forces, they create all the different phenomena on all different kinds of levels, because these two forces, they operate in matter. What is matter? The will to enjoy. The will to enjoy, as we call it in the wisdom of Kabbalah. And when these two forces, they operate in the will to receive, then they portray different qualities, different feelings. And then what happens is that when these two forces operate in matter, matter takes on a new form. A new form. Under these forces, it starts being like these forces, or the opposite to these forces. Different changes happen with it. If I want to write down how these forces operate, these two forces from above, on this world, how do I write it? I have to write that these two forces, they operate in a way that one force, and then I write down some kind of a graph how it works, and the other force how it operates on it and how it works, and both of them together, then how they work on how they influence certain matter, right? Okay, so how do I write it down? I write the sum total combination of these two forces in the form of a sign. Sign. And when I look at this sign, I know, this is one force and the other force. And this is how now they influence matter. This sign, suppose, is the letter Shin. Letter is a sign. And Shin is the common form of these forces. This is how they get this form in order to imprint these two forces in our matter, in the will to receive, in the will to enjoy, which is the matter of this world. Okay, so if I understand what you said till now, the letters of the Hebrew Aleph Bet, it's you write down, it's like AKG, you have to write something down, so you say that these are the two forces that exist in the spiritual world, that I understand that it's the world that controls us. Yes, so there are 22 such letters, and in combinations between these forces, and another 5 that are called the final letters, called Mansepach. All in all, 27 letters. Letters, these are signs, combinations, standards that imprints itself in matter, in the will to receive, but the will to receive, by this imprint, starts living, starts changing. What starts changing? The desire itself. These two forces, they imprint in the will to receive, the will to enjoy, which is the ego, our matter, the will to enjoy. All the matter wants to enjoy. What matter? Still, vegetative, animate, people. It just wants to feel good. Subconsciously, consciously, doesn't matter. It's like the only aspiration. Yes, only. To feel good. Yes, every moment. Good. Don't want more than that. So what did the letters have to do with that? Okay. These letters, they come to my matter and they imprint it. Make an imprint in matter, in the matter. It's like you take, I put my hand on the dough. Okay, I understand, but what's happening, what you're saying about is also happening right now? Yes. Okay, so when I aspire now to feel good, what happens with the letters now? They come each and every moment, like on a typing machine. You remember those typing machines? Yeah, my father has to have one in his office. Okay, so they all the time knock on my imprint, on my stuff, matter, and I get different thoughts and feelings and this and that. Give me an example of what's going on now. How does a letter imprint on me? We're in a certain place now, in the studio. There are people that are shooting us. Yes. There are other phenomena here. Yes. These letters are imprinting in all matter, still, vegetative, animate, and people, that all this exists and developed into a certain direction. We're operated by someone somewhere up there. Someone from above is typing some text, and we're operated accordingly. It's like a computer program. It's the same. It's the code that operates me. Yes, it operates what you want, what you think, what you'll decide, what you'll do, and what will happen. Everything is inside this code. Everything. That's why everyone wants to know the letters, only they don't know what it is.